Right now on your CBS 2 News at 10, a toddler mauled and a town is in shock.
It's a rough time right now.
Little Vanessa killed by 2 Rottweilers.
Like, you could just look at her and smile.
Tonight, how a town is coming together to support the family in their darkest hour of grief.
Plus, budget cuts could be the best weapon for the bad guys. The debate to keep or cut the task force charged with wiping the gangs off Waterloo streets.
First tonight, a toddler's life claimed by the family dogs.
Tonight, a town is trying to support a grieving family and begin to heal. 3-year-old Vanessa Elizabeth Hussman died Saturday afternoon after being mauled by 2 Rottweilers in her own backyard. Vanessa's mother just called CBS 2. She says her daughter was never left unattended, and they have no idea how those dogs got out of the kennel. She says the dogs were never mean and got along with the little girl very well. Rhonda says, though, she wasn't a fan of the dogs originally. Vanessa was attacked around 5:15 Saturday night in Hopkinton at a home on 3rd Street. CBS 2's Kelly O'Connell reports from Hopkinton in tonight's top story.
Little Vanessa. A lot of people in this community knew this little girl and were shocked to hear what happened over the weekend. While they are grieving, they're also trying to help the family in whatever way they can.
Thank you so much.
Tonight's dance performance was supposed to be a joyous occasion, one that draws in the community every year. But what's on just about everyone's mind this year is little Vanessa Hussman.
You could just look at her and smile, and she just always wanted your attention, and she was just cute.
3-year-old Vanessa was in this backyard on Saturday night when the family dogs attacked her, eventually killing her.
I just couldn't believe it. Something that would happen like this in our small community.
It's a rough time right now.
The sheriff's office says the 2 Rottweilers belonged to the girl's grandfather and uncle and had only lived at the girl's home for 3 months. But the little girl's father tells the sheriff the dogs knew Vanessa well, saying she fed the dogs often and he never would have thought the dogs would attack anyone. In light of the attack, the city council is considering a ban on Rottweilers. They talked about it at tonight's meeting.
The reason this was even brought up is because of tragedy with Vanessa this weekend.
They decided to hold off on the idea to give the family some time to grieve. This small, close-knit community is devastated by the loss, and now everyone is just trying to figure out how to cope.
It's had a great effect in the community, no question about that.
Which brings us back to the school. This is how some are coping.
Thanks, Sally.
Thanks, Sally.
They're doing what they can to help the family, raising money, $1 at a time.
Thank you. They needed that support, knowing that people are supporting them and behind them through it all.
The sheriff tells me he has not heard of a case where a dog killed a person in the nearly 30 years he's been in this community. He says tonight he has more questions than answers and says it's premature to talk about any potential criminal charges. Reporting in Hopkinton, Kelly O'Connell, CBS 2 News.
After the attack, the 2 dogs were put down at the owner's request. We do know the wake will be held on Thursday and the funeral on Friday in Hopkinton.
We asked for your 2 cents. Will banning certain breeds of dogs prevent dog attacks? Robin says, to be honest, every dog is a wild animal and capable of attacking or biting, just different extremes. So no, banning won't help people. They need to be smarter. Angela says, I'm torn with this question because I know certain dogs can be more violent than others. I also know owners are partly to blame for their dog's behavior. Timothy says yes, and banning books will prevent racism, banning guns will prevent murder, banning cars will prevent OWI, and banning same-sex marriages will prevent homosexuality. Sarcasm, of course it won't. You still have time to sound off too. Just head to our Facebook and leave your comment on our page.
New details tonight on a deadly Waterloo fire that police say now looks like murder. The man who started the blaze, is accused of starting the blaze rather, is now accused of also beating a woman to death inside before lighting the fire. Today, 50-year-old Glenn Dean Jackson was charged with first-degree murder on top of the arson charges he was already in jail for. Investigators found the body of 57-year-old Sandra Jo Nash inside her burned home back on January 31st. An autopsy found Nash died from blunt force injuries to the head, and a hammer was found near her body. Jackson's bond has been set at $1 million.
Now the question of lower taxes or fewer cops. Turns out property owners will pay to keep police officers on the streets of Waterloo. Michelle Kay is live there right now with the latest on tonight's council decision. Michelle?
Waterloo City Council wrapped up its budget hearing tonight at 7:30 here at City Hall. They will be raising residential property taxes, not by the full 7%, but by nearly 5%. Still, some homeowners say that hurts. Spared from the budget acts, Waterloo City workers, including police and firefighters. And your trip to the library won't be cut shorter either. Instead of cutting staff services, the council is passing the increased cost of running government onto those who own property.
Social Security isn't going to increase any. And the thing about it is, the more you people taxes, the less I can afford.
Neighbors grumbled over the property tax increase.
We've got a real challenge the next few years. We have got to work smarter and not just keep adding taxes.
We don't know whether to pay for the gas to go get something to eat, or pay for the food to go get the gas to go get the food, or pay for our medicine, you know, because everything has went up.
Others cheered the increase.
Alone, I can't afford to hire my own firemen and policemen to protect me and my family when needed. But together, with our taxes pool, we can all have these services.
So they're not going to lay workers off, they're not going to cut services, but they're only going to raise property taxes for residential areas by about 5%. How are they going to make up the difference? They're going to cut into the reserve fund balance. They're going to use some of that, which some city officials believe is a very dangerous move. Live in Waterloo, Michelle Kay, CBS 2 News.
Michelle, thanks. Want to ride along with VCAP? Only CBS 2 took you inside as they went on the raids that took out some of Waterloo's most dangerous criminals. If you can find the story, it is, oh, hold on, let me just get that thing out of the way. There's the story that you can find, along with all of our top stories you'll see on our news every night right there at KGAN.com.
A bit of rain hanging out over eastern Iowa today, even some flurries sometimes. Now's our check of the first warning warcast.
It's just weather.
Feels like a warcast. It's just weather.
Yeah.
Sick of the rain and even some snow today.
Yeah, just a little bit of it today, enough to be a pain, but nothing really to cause trouble on the roads.
You're not calling it a warcast yet?
No. Tomorrow will feel like it in some areas, though, with the wind blowing, the rain picking up, some showers and storms as well. There you go on the satellite radar, the messy look at what's going on, or has been going on throughout the day today. A couple of flurries, couple of sprinkles, rain and snow showers, and more of them working into the region tonight. Here's what it looks like on 3D Doppler. You can see a little bit of rain and snow shower activity, but nothing that's really too heavy. From about Washington to Oskaloosa, some mix action going on just south of Fairfield and Ottumwa as well. And when you widen out the view, you can see more of it just to our south. So expect just the light stuff around for tonight. Temps today made it up to the mid and upper 30s, but don't expect them to move too much tonight. Notice the readings haven't dropped off more than a couple of degrees in most spots due to that cloud cover sticking around. As you look into tomorrow morning, a few flurries to start the day. Tomorrow afternoon, the rain and snow showers roll in, and with the way things are setting up, there could be some slushy accumulations, especially to the north. That's where already winter storm watches have been posted. There's a look at Exact Track 2 for tomorrow evening on into tomorrow night. Get her rolling there. You can see the first wave of rain rolling in, and there you go. It stays snow, especially to the north. The changeover may not happen until early Wednesday morning, and then it may quickly change back. So northern part of the state will have to watch close. You could have as little as an inch or two of slush to maybe 4, 5, 6 inches. So we'll be watching that close. The rest of the area just getting chilly. Full forecast in a few minutes. We'll detail when it all moves in.
Like a political storm that's brewing, the GOP is gathering to prepare for its first steps toward Vote 2012. Alice Barr is here now with the latest.
From Iowa City to Waukee, potential Republican candidates for president know it's time to start showing their faces and their voices here in the state that starts it all. It all starts here. In the run-up to Iowa's 2012 caucuses, supporters are already lining up behind their favorite candidates.
Sign here, freedom is popular, and it was signed by Ron Paul.
Texas Congressman Ron Paul spoke at the University of Iowa today, appealing to young voters.
Your jobs are tough to get. Getting out of college is not a guarantee anymore.
He has not declared he's running yet, but took the chance to push for smaller government and eliminating the income tax.
And to me, the best tax is the least tax.
And supporters here know this is just the beginning.
I think it's going to be an exciting election season. I look forward to it. It's going to get ugly. It's going to get real ugly. So
across the state, 5 more GOP hopefuls started their stumping in Waukee tonight.
Are you ready to begin the process of choosing Barack Obama's successor here in Iowa?
The event is hosted by the Faith and Freedom Coalition, and speakers stuck to a message of weaving faith into politics.
One nation, under God.
The Constitution was designed to protect people of faith from government, not to protect government from people of faith.
We are endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights.
The early message here is appealing to the conservative base, and it's sure to be the first of many Iowa visits for the candidates hoping to take the Oval Office. And the GOP hopefuls in Waukee tonight were former House Speaker Newt Gingrich, former Minnesota Governor Tim Pawlenty, and also businessman Herman Cain, former Pennsylvania Senator Rick Santorum, and former Louisiana Governor Buddy Roemer. Their appeal to the religious right follows poll results that showed up to 60% of Republican voters in the 2008 Iowa caucuses were evangelical Christians. In the studio, Alice Barr, CBS 2 News.
2 businesses are destroyed after a fire in Coralville. It happened early this afternoon just south of the Coral Ridge Mall. Inside a building with at least 10 businesses, the owner of No. 1 Cab tells us one of his workers was using a drill to drain a car's gas tank and sparked an explosion. Soon the flames spread. Next door, Auto Toys got the worst of it. They lost 4 cars and a boat. No. 1 Cab also lost everything inside, but quick thinking made sure that no one was hurt.
Yeah, I went to their shops and asked them to get out of the building because I knew that was going to explode.
It was pretty hot in there, so we couldn't make entry. We had to do pretty much an exterior fight, and as we slowly work our way in and get things put out.
The fire was out in 3 hours. In all, 5 businesses were damaged.
This overnight fire in Marion had crews fighting the flames for more than 5 hours. Our breaking news crew was first on scene at this house on 13th Street. It caught fire around midnight. When the fire department got there, the roof was burning fast, they said. Crews had to chop through the roof with an axe to reach the flames. The fire wasn't under control until about 5 o'clock this morning. And a reminder, if you see news happen, give us a call toll free at 800-222-KGAN or just email us the news tip to news@kgan.com.
Hundreds of local union workers are in Des Moines tonight protesting what they call an unfair bill that would take away some of their bargaining rights. These busloads of teacher aides took off from Cedar Rapids this morning. They oppose how the state wants to deal with their insurance, outsourcing, and employee layoffs.
He wants to join the union protest in Madison, and he's walking if he has to. Meet Mike Oren. He calls himself the Peace Walker, as his back says. He's been walking across the country for more than 6 years now. Oren says he's put over 5,280 miles into his quest to promote a message of peace. This afternoon, he was in Cedar Rapids, his latest stop as he pushes to give a speech in Madison to the masses.
But I'm trying to get to Madison, Wisconsin from Coronado Island, California.
Oren has almost walked across the U.S. 2 full times in the past 5 years. He extended an invitation to everyone he saw to come with him to Madison. There were no takers while our producer was there, but you can find out more about his message through a link on our website, KGAN.com.
Forget the Wild West. This is the Wild East of weather. How likely this is to happen again this spring.
And why the president could soon be sending U.S. troops to Libya.
Sprinkles and flurries in the area today. Rain, thunder, snow tomorrow. I'll show you which will move in, when, and where up next.